Good evening. Bradley Hutchinson here again from the local, extremely biased, mainstream, liberal news. But at least we're not white supremacists. There's been issues in the city of Atlanta. Peaceful protesters have been peacefully expressing their concerns for police brutality, white supremacy. But first, before we get into this, the current occupier of the White House is on his way. Oh, I shouldn't have assumed the gender of the current occupier. I will correct myself going forward. The current occupier of the White House is on their way via plane. Strength and stamina demonstration. But anyway, we're going to talk about the issues in Atlanta caused by white supremacists, insurrectionists, kind of a new word that was recently developed. We're going to show how it all started. To show more stamina, the current occupier of the White House is taking an unconventional way to our studio and then to go to the city of Atlanta and show a presence. As you can see, this stamina. What you witnessed here was a bunch of white supremacists surrounding the current occupier of the White House and attacking him. You can clearly see they are MAGA white supremacists attacking the current occupier of the White House. We have been given word that the current occupier of the White House has beat the living snot out of every single one of them because half the country are insurrectionists, white supremacists.
That's why I
Because
prefer.
I don't agree with you, the people watching me, who represents the dignified, well-respected people, civilizationalized people of this nation. Now, as you can see, I was here in Atlanta. Now, what you're witnessing is peaceful demonstrations of how people should have a right to express their dissatisfaction for the police by attacking them, burning their cars, looting. Such harsh words. I apologize. I will go to more sensitivity training here at work. What you're witnessing is an expression of dissatisfaction for things not being equal in society. So, nothing to see here. What I really want to point your attention to is half the country who supports the MAGA movement. Now again, MAGA simply means make America great again. Whew! The hate in those words. This is why our current occupier of the White House has declared these people that vote Republican as domestic terrorists of this country that are out in the streets destroying everything and hurting people. I could show you footage after footage after footage of these MAGA white supremacists creating insurrection, destroying everything. They are domestic terrorists. But, again, the hate in those words, make America great again, is as despicable as when Donald Trump stood in front of all of you and said very vicious, horrible things about overthrowing the government and taking our country back and get out there and bust through the building and start hurting people and looting people.
To peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard, today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity.
Anyway, you heard it. You heard it straight from the horses. I have to refrain from swearing. Now, how do we combat this? How do we combat white supremacy and the MAGA movement of such hate in this country? Well, the peaceful people, the dignified people that you're... Well, we're going to give them immunity to any offenses that Republicans may accuse them of a crime. Now, if anyone out there ever understood the penal law, the criminal procedure law, and the constitutional law, hell will even throw in the vehicle and traffic law. No one understands these law books because none of you even freaking read them. And you shouldn't read them because they're going to teach you about the Constitution. And again, the Constitution was written 5 million years ago by a bunch of fat, rich, white, racist men. And they wrote about rights. Rights, for Pete's sake. For you, for me. So that we can speak freely, you and me. We can be able to defend ourselves from criminals. It's horrible. You have a right to trial by jury that's called due process? The way it should work is someone should just say, that person, that they over there, they did something bad, and off with their heads! Well, as long as they're a conservative Republican. What else is in this racist book? Oh, it talks about being the president, the branches of government, all these old things that don't apply. Searches and seizures. Basically, all you people out there that hate the cops and hate the Constitution are basically saying the Constitution should go away. And when the Constitution goes away because you hate it, you don't want to have freedoms, you don't want to have rights, that means the police will now come in your house or your vehicle or search your person and take whatever the hell they want. Because when the Constitution's gone, that means you are just a number. You are a nobody. So, I'm glad you all want to do away with the Constitution. Now, let's talk about the peaceful protests here. Now, as you can see, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening except for people being hurt, property being destroyed. And the people that are doing this are good people. They're not racist. They're not conservative Republicans that believe in safety, being fiscally responsible. The Constitution, which is everyone has rights. We don't need people like that anymore. They're insurrectionists and terrorists. So, again, also, if there's any gun violence out there, what needs to happen is more restrictions. Because we all know people out there with jobs and families and no criminal record and don't do drugs are the ones taking those spooky semi-automatic murder machines and going out and committing gun crimes. It's not these poor victims of MAGA white supremacy. It's not them. So, here's what will happen. We'll just call them the oppressed, not criminals. They will be the only ones that have access to guns because they don't follow laws, because they're smart. And they're going to go out and they're going to victimize people. Gun violence. Those of you with families and children and houses and jobs will be the ones affected by these gun confiscations and gun laws. You will no longer be able to defend yourself from these people. Because again, I want to remind everyone, it's the average law-abiding, productive in society citizen out there that owns these guns that's out there committing these horrible crimes, not the criminals. I mean, the victims of white supremacy. Again, here at the Evening News, signing off. I'm Bradley Hutchinson. Good evening. Yes, I'm fully aware I was stumbling over my words and acting overly eccentric. Just part of the act. Semper Fi. Yut.